Alright, hello. So I'm here today with a reading wrap up. I don't do these weekly anymore. Now I just do them whenever I have at least 5 books to talk about. And I have 6 to talk about today. So these are all books I read recently. Let's get started. First up, I read Stars in Your Eyes by Casey Callender, and this is a adult romance between these two men, these two movie stars. One of them has a very bad boy, child star gone bad kind of persona, and the other one has like a very like wholesome boy next door kind of thing, and they end up to promote their new movie. They end up like having a fake dating thing, and this was fine. It was cute. This is the first thing I've read by Casey Calendar, though they have written a lot. I think they've done mostly young adult. Let me see if I can find Felix Ever After. Felix Ever After was the big one that they did. And this was good. I mean, it was cute. It was fine. It was a very fast read. I ended up giving it like 3.75 out of 5 stars. In general, it is very meh. And I've been dipping my toes more into romance recently, and this is very much kind of on the side of it's not bad, and maybe if this was like my genre I'd really love it, but it's not, so it's mostly just fine. I did read it. Then I read a book that I did actually film a full spoilery kill count video for, which is funny because nobody fucking died and I'm really mad about it. That is Last Chance by R.L. Stine. This is a Fear Street Seniors book. It follows this girl who she is really having a rough go of things. She ends up like her dad left she was caught shoplifting, she has to go to counseling, and then she ends up getting sucked in with this teacher that's basically just grooming her. That's what it is, and it's kind of horrifying. But it was a fun time reading it. I took so many notes reading this. Oh my god, I didn't even write normally I write the rating and stuff in the front, but I didn't. But no, I read it. It was fine. I think I gave it like 2 stars. Not the best R.L. Stine book. And nobody even died, which still makes me mad. After that, I finished up a book that I had started reading with a group of my 5th graders, but then the end of the year came before we could finish it. But I had to finish it because I'm not going to leave a book unread. And that was Spy School by Stuart Gibbs. This is a very fun book. It is about this kid who ends up getting brought to this spy school where he learns that he's really just bait. He's there to be bait. He's good at math, but that's about it. He's not actually this major spy guy that they think he is. But he does end up uncovering these big, conspiracies, and I had fun with this. It's definitely good for like your reluctant readers. I would say if you've got like a 10-year-old boy who doesn't really like to read, but you want him to read because you don't want him to be an idiot. Not bad. I've read this with my lower group, and they enjoyed it. They had fun with it. 2 of them even read ahead and finished it before the year ended, which is great. But no, it was a fun time. I do think that I know that there are about 1,000 of these books. Not own, but in my classroom library, I have like the first 3, and I do intend to get the rest of them just because I think that this is a series that is good for those kids that do need some really fast-paced fun, a little bit risque in the fact that they say the word ass in here, and that 5th graders think is hilarious. So there's that. Everything gave it 4 stars. Then I read probably the worst book of the week. My little sister actually just sent a text to the group chat, screenshotting my Goodreads, like, why did you read this? And I don't even really have a good answer. But that is Pretty Boy by Jet Masterson. And as I've been getting into a little bit into romance, I've also been dipping my toes into erotica a little bit, just because I think it's interesting. I didn't know this was fucking Omegaverse when I picked it up, but it is. I didn't want it to be. But this is about this young Omega. If you don't know what the Omegaverse is, congratulations. But he is like destitute, and the place that he works goes under, and he eventually decides, I'm gonna sign up to be a sugar baby because otherwise I'm literally going to freeze and die. And then this Alpha, who owns this company, and he's got more money than he knows what to do with, and they come together, and oh my god, I can't get over the Omegaverse stuff. Also, this wasn't particularly well written, and looking at some of the reviews, this is apparently a common theme with this author's books, is that I don't know if Masterson is a man or a woman, I have no idea. They have a habit of head hopping and just not being very good at the technical side of writing. And I saw that. Was it the worst book I've ever read in my entire life? No. So I gave it 1.5 stars. 1 stars are for a book that has absolutely zero redeeming qualities whatsoever. Like, nothing. And this, I don't know what redeeming qualities this has, but it must have been something, or I would have given it 1 star. See, I gave it 1.5. So I read it. It's done. It added 500 pages to my yearly account. So there's that. Then I read a book that I've literally been working on for like a year. So this was a book that was going to be a novel study for my high schoolers. And I don't teach high school anymore. I haven't taught high school in a year. I just finished my first year teaching elementary in a completely different town, a completely different, area of school. So all the books that I was halfway through reading for novel studies just got thrown into the book wall. And so I picked this one out. I was halfway through it. I was like, whatever, let's just read it. Prince of Thorns, Mark Lawrence. Jesus Christ, this was also not very good. I just wasn't reading very good books this week. Honestly, the best one was probably Stars in Your Eyes, if I'm being honest. This book follows this little edgelord. When he was like 10, his mother and brother were killed in front of him, and now he's just this awful, like, he kills and he rapes and he pillages, and he's just this awful guy. And you just knew that nothing bad was going to happen to this kid. And even when it did, it just didn't faze him. Like, he was just like, oh, look at that. That's life. I'm better now, I guess. And it just got so old so fast. Like, if we're going to have a really edgy 14-year-old character who is doing all of this really adult stuff that's really dramatic, like, come on, give him something. Give him a character that's not just, I'm too cool for you. One thing I did like about this, though, I did like the implications of the world that we really got into in the last little bit. Like, it was unique. I wasn't expecting it. Because this was very, very much set solidly in a medieval Europe setting. Like, we talked about, like, Roman shit. But with some added, fantasy elements, like necromancers. I'm like, okay, all right. But then there was an aspect near the end that really was very interesting. And I did like that. And I'm not like a world person. Like, I'm not a world building person for the most part. That's why I had such a hard time getting into Brandon Sanderson back when I was 17. Because I've never really been one for world building. But that was really the most interesting part of this book. I gave it 2.75 out of 5 stars. Will I finish the series? Probably not. Unless I end up like finding book 2 at like a thrift store or something in a book month. But yes. And then I read a book that kind of disappointed me. So the other book that I read by this author was like one of my favorite books of the year that I read it. I loved it so much. It was so tragic. It was very strange, which I liked. It was very strange. It was very, very dark. It was just good. And this book I've been looking forward to for so long, and I've hyped it up in my head so much. And I think that's what killed it for me. I mean, it wasn't bad. I guess this one is probably better than Stars in Your Eyes. I gave them the same rating, but I think I put this one higher in my ranking. And it's got such a cool cover, and I was looking forward to it. It was just kind of okay. Universal Harvester by John Darnielle. I loved Devil House so much. Like, it was one of the best books I read, I think, in 2022. This one was okay. So the concept of this book is so super cool. We follow this video store clerk in the 90s, and people are coming in saying that somebody is taping over these movies, and they're these really kind of creepy things. And this book is really short, and it tries to do so much, and I don't really know that it really succeeds at most of it, because we do really get to know these people. And honestly, who I liked the most was our main character's dad. And it's about motherhood, and it's about loss, and there's some cult stuff going on in there, but in its end, it doesn't really seem to be much of anything at all. And I don't know if I want to keep it. I want to keep the book because it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I like that. And also, like, I have Devil House in hardcover, and I love Devil House, so I kind of want to have a collection. So I guess I'll keep it for now, but maybe I'll reread it at some point and like get it more. But I was disappointed, because I hyped it up as something it wasn't in my head, and then when I read it, it just didn't really mean much to me. So that's that. Let me go grab what I'm currently reading. Show you that. This is what I'm currently reading. There are a lot of them. So I'm currently reading Lying Low by Diane Johnson. I'm about halfway through this. This book has been fun so far. It's all right. I guess fun is a little bit strong. It's been fine. You know, and there's some really interesting elements to it, but it's fine. On Kindle, I'm still working on The Sunshine Court. I am still rereading The House of Hades. I'm getting about halfway through. I'm still working my way through Words of Radiance, and I kind of, part of me just wants to sit down and just power through this because I am really enjoying it every time I pick it up, but I just haven't been picking it up. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, which I'm still working on. I'm like a fifth of the way through it or something like that. I don't know. Some new ones. I started 666 by Jay Anson, which I really just got because it looked kind of fun. I read Amityville Horror. It wasn't that good, but this is very short. Also, Family by Nicole Osto, which is, surprise, fun, written in verse. So that's going to be a quick read. Rereading Justine by the Marquis de Sade. I'm like 40 pages in and I love this book so goddamn much. It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Like, the introduction alone is just perfect. I love it. Les Mis, I'm currently still working on that. I'm going to be working on this till my dying day. My reread of Les Mis. And still the Stina script. ABC shorthand. Unfortunately, this is secondhand, and so it's like the little workbook sections are already all filled out. But like, let me see. Oh, not all of them, I guess. And some of them, but like here, there somebody already did all that. But I'm still reading it. But yeah, that is that. So these are the books I read recently. That is all for today. I will talk to you later, and goodbye.